Hey, today I'm going to talk about my experiences with endometriosis before starting the carnivore diet. Um, so it all started in my teens, me having a lot of pain during my period, and I suspected I could have endometriosis, but I didn't know that it was could be such a horrible disease. I thought it was like you have to stay in your bed, not being able to do anything, um, and doesn't get worse than that, kind of. I didn't do the research because I usually didn't have to lie on the floor unless I didn't get my painkillers on time. I had to take them on time even before my period started. Otherwise, I would have a really bad experience. So, but it wasn't until 2017 when I stopped the ketogenic diet. Also, I wanted to add that something I forgot to include in my other video here. Uh, Something funny that you can try if you are on the ketogenic diet is glucine, an amino acid that is sweet. So you could have it in like desserts, and but it would also make you tired. So you would go to bed earlier if you have problems with that. But don't take too much of it because yeah, it does make you sleepy. Um, so I thought that was kind of funny. Anyhow, back to my endometriosis journey. Um, so it started in 2017. I had my first cyst rupture. That is when a cyst bursts open and fluid gets out in the stomach. And uh, they noticed there were a lot of fluid in my stomach, and they put me in the hospital. I had to stay there over the night, and I remember being extremely um, exhausted, and not being able to move that very easily. Um, and Then they told me that they didn't have to operate on me if I didn't want to, but the cysts were there was one cyst and it was pretty big. Um, I think it was 5.6 back then, or 5 times 6. I mean, and then a month later, I had my second cyst rupture, and or they suspected that. At first, the first cyst, one of the cysts was small, and then I had a bigger one. So it already had gotten worse. I had two cysts on both of um, my ovarians, and a month later, I had three cysts, two on one of my ovaries, uh, and one on the other one. Um, and it usually came with like bad stomach. I had like diarrhea. I had to go to the bathroom if I could, because there was extreme amount of pain, um, and I had to call for the ambulance. I did that each time, uh, and yeah, and then I started taking another approach and starting like a low carb, but I didn't do ketogenic. It was kind of like a mild um, low carbohydrate diet. Um, and Then after, I don't know, 10 months, I stopped. No, it was 6 months maybe I stopped. And then there was another rupture again, and I was like, oh no, I thought maybe there was like a period of my time that I had this and I could eat regular food again. So, before I had it starting again, I ate regular food and a lot of crap. And so it went on again, and um, it was so bad. Uh, and then a month after that, it happened again. And I was like, okay, this is really not working. Because I was laying on the floor without any clothes, and the ambulance men came in and they're like, what are you doing there? Just laying down on the floor, having like this throw up bag next to me. Uh, and they didn't give me any painkillers either that time. And I remember that I felt so, it felt so weird being treated that way. And they thought I would be able to walk by myself from um, one bed to another. And I couldn't move. And so, yeah, anyway, then uh, so I started low carb, a really strict low carb. And then in August 13th, I started the carnivore diet full on. Because this time I wanted to go slowly and work myself up to that kind of a change for my body. Because you have to be considerate of all the enzymes that the body needs to create in order to process fat in an efficient way. Um, so starting it, I also included eggs, pepper, herbs. Um, I ate pork, meat, but um, I noticed that I felt a lot better. It only took me 3 days before my stomach was normal again, not being bloated, and uh, the daily pain got a lot better. It didn't take me long before I didn't have any pain going to the bathroom, or and a lot of less pain exercising and having sex. Like there was one position that I had a lot of pain in, but 6 months in, that was when the last pain went away, my back pain, because my cysts were kissing. They're called. It's when they're attached to each other, and they were like back in my. There's they still are in my back, um, my ovaries. Um, so I didn't have any more pain at all. And after a year, my doctor told me that I had stage 3 endometriosis instead of stage 4. And I was like, but you told me that I had stage 4 and you don't get any better from endometriosis, right? He's like, yeah, no, you only get worse, but your tissue looks really healthy, and you're only stage 3. I can't say anything different. And he had to go through his notes, and he's like, yeah, I wrote stage 4. Uh, and I was feeling really awesome. And but then the same time, something made me crave ice cream. So I ate homemade ice cream made of whipped cream, egg yolks, vanilla powder, and some honey. And the pain came back after a while, and I noticed my periods came more seldomly. Um, so that's like a symptom that I noticed. That's easy to notice, that the periods get longer, or the cycles get longer. Um, and it was all good as long as I stayed strict, like 100% strict, until the summer of 2020. It came back, like I had pain nighttime, mainly in my back, but also some in my stomach. And I got the advice to stop eating, or uh, yeah, stop eating pork and eat more fat from my boyfriend, and I'm very happy about that, because that made it stop immediately when I made those changes. Um, and I started also tracking my blood sugar and my ketones. I measured the ketones a few times, but you don't have to track them that much, because while eating that much fat, you are driven on ketones. Um, and I have tried like pork after that a couple of times, but it just doesn't work. I get symptoms, unfortunately, even while trying just a small amount. And I even get symptoms like frying my meat in the same pan as someone else had fried, like regular sausage with some herbs and stuff. So I get a reaction from that, and I got a reaction from using the same pan that I bought to my sister, because I wanted a pan to fry my meat in, but I can't use it because there's something stuck in the pan itself. I tried to clean it really hard, but it doesn't go off. So you really have to watch out. And like a reaction is like a on a button. It's like pushing an on button for your disease. If you get symptoms, your disease is ongoing, and things are getting worse. If you don't have any symptoms at all, then I think you can even heal some of your problems. Um, but we'll see. I haven't, I mean, I've only done this for 4 years, so, um, but I have had tremendous results, not only with the endometriosis, but other things as well. My CA 125 level was at 2000, and my doctor was really scared and thought I had cancer, so she didn't want to tell me that measurement other than in person. But I didn't have any cancer. I wasn't that afraid of having cancer either, because I knew the carnivore diet is very efficient against cancer. This was when I started, I should say, the carnivore diet. So, and then it got down to 350, and then to 74. So it got really into a normal range. Good thing to not have ovarian cancer, because that's not nice. But it's a measurement of how bad your endometriosis is. Also, doesn't have to mean that you have cancer. So in my case, it was probably um, yeah, meaning that I had my endometriosis was really bad. Um anyway, so yeah, today I mostly eat chuck together with liver and bone marrow, and I fry it with some tallow that I make myself. And I'll have videos on how I make my tallow and what to watch out for while buying different things. And so, yeah. So that's my story with endometriosis. I'm gonna have more stories like this. But thank you for so much for watching and have a great day. Bye.